An 80-year-old woman has died after being hit by a tear gas canister at her window during Saturday's fuel protests in Marseille, France. The woman lived near where the protests were taking place and was hit in the face while closing her shutters.
Here's a summary of the article.
An 80-year-old woman has died after being hit by a tear gas canister at her window during Saturday's fuel protests in the French city of Marseille. The woman, who lived in an apartment near to where the protests were taking place, was hit in the face while closing the shutters. Protests over fuel tax have grown into general anger at high living costs. 3 other people have been killed in the protests since demonstrations started more than 2 weeks ago, police said on Sunday. France's Interior Ministry says about 136,000 people took part in the protests nationwide on Sunday, showing widespread support for the movement known as the Gilets jaunes, who complain about a sharp increase in fuel taxes. Protests continued into Monday, as students in about 100 secondary schools across the country demonstrated against educational and exam reforms. There is shock and anger in the mainstream French press after Yellow Vest protesters ran riot in Paris neighborhoods, burning cars and looting shops.
This post received a score of 39,871, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
That's got to be one of the oddest ways to die. You live 80 years and then this happens. Life's so fragile.
So it goes.
You can have the world in the palm of your hand, still might drop it.
Everybody wanna reach inside my pocket.
I tell em red liit.
Stop it.
Shit that makes more headaches than alcoholics.
Why are they protesting? I've seen tons of press on the protests, nothing as to why they are taking place. Why are they protesting?
Of course, no representative, so it's a bit disorganized, but a lot of people support them here in France and it have been so far a massive protest nationwide, blocking a lot of things. A lot of rioters took the opportunity of the protests to do a lot of damage, and are relayed a lot by medias. In reality, a lot of people from all origins, sex and age are in the protests, and are often Pacifics, causing no damages to the blocked stores, facilities. But doesn't get as much spotlight. Regarding ecology about the tax fuel, well, lot of people think it's bullshit because our government made a lot of very bad move regarding ecology, and made none before this one in favor.
Was Macron the one who tried busting unions too?
Yep, among other things. France has been paralyzed by strikes a few times in the past year because of his various anti-labor things. He's really not setting himself up for a happy ending to his political career.
So the article was kinda unclear. Was this like an unfortunate ricochet from a gas grenade launcher, or did a French cop straight up yeet a grenade into this old lady's face?
Greater than straight up yeet a grenade into this old lady's face?
Processing, defined term, yeet.
Chuck as hard as you can, without any particular regard for aim.
Obligatory to yell, "This bitch empty, should that bitch be empty?"
Yikes. This woman was born at the beginning of WW2 and the invasion of France when she was 2. To survive all that, and then die from your own government's incompetence, sad.
Came here to say this and was surprised that you're the only one mentioning it. Lady lived through Nazi occupation of Paris just to get a tear gas canister to the face over 75 years later from a fellow countryman.
I mean, I don't disagree with you at all, but she also did get to live an 80-year life. That's still objectively far better than having died back then.
It's also objectively far worse than having died 10 years from now surrounded by family.
You've never met my family. If I die surrounded by family, it's because they got together to kill me.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.